Yes, that's right, Tapeoids. Your favorite show is back again, Versus, where I put two tapes against each other in a kumite, and they battle it out Rob's Vintage Video style. So we got a wicked battle for you again, Tapeoids, here on Versus, where we put two tapes against each other and score them on a 5-point scoring system. But I've switched it up a little bit. I've changed two of the scores. I took out production completely and put cover art. This is a VHS show after all. And I changed fight choreography to effects. Just kind of trying to generalize it a little bit to match different matchups. So like always, 5 points is going to be cover art, story, real fight scenario, effects, and damage. So let's get cracking and jump straight into this matchup. On this side of the map, we have 1996 From Dusk Till Dawn. Directed by Robert Rodriguez. It's starring George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino as the Gecko Brothers. The Gecko Brothers are a couple of criminals that are hightailing it to Mexico and stop at a gentleman's club, I would say. And, well, a whole lot of stuff happens from there. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it. And on this side of the map, we have 1992's Army of Darkness, directed by Sam Raimi, starring Bruce Campbell as a store clerk who gets sucked through a portal and lands in medieval times, and then ends up having to fight an army of the dead to retrieve a demon witchcraft book that will send them back. So before we start scoring, I didn't know this until I started looking it up, but it seems the Army of Darkness didn't really do that great. On a budget of 13 million, it only made back around 11.5 million, and on its opening week, it only made about $5,000. On the other hand, From Dusk Till Dawn, on a budget of 19 million, made like 26 million, and on its opening week, made like 10 million. So think about that when you're scoring a movie. So first up is story. Now, both these movies have great stories. As I was thinking about it, I was kind of leaning towards Army of Darkness at first, because I mean, like, you know, there's a lot of things going on in there, as opposed to just like breaking out of prison and trying to get to Mexico. But as I started thinking about it, I really liked what happened with the brothers in From Dusk Till Dawn. They're criminals. They escape from prison and they take off to and try to escape to another country. But you can tell George Clooney is a pretty cool guy. You know what I mean? His brother is a wacko. So what happens in the rest of the movie kind of redeems them, in my opinion. And everybody who needs to, you know, well, not everybody, but he kind of washes his slate clean and kind of makes it through at the end. So I kind of like that story a little bit better. So with story, I'm going to go for From Dusk Till Dawn. And next up is cover art, VHS cover art. As you can see, they both got pretty cool covers, but like I'm learning on recent polls that I put on my channel, that Army of Darkness, a lot of people like the cover. So we have no choice but to go with Army of Darkness for cover art. So that leads us to damage. There's a fair amount of damage in both these movies. But I think From Dusk Till Dawn, Seth Gecko is like really, you know, stabbing the shit out of some vampires, and there's blood squirting everywhere. And I mean, Ash fights a whole army, but I mean, the damage level, like, it's got to go from Till Dusk Till Dawn. So we're going to go with that for damage. Now that leads us to effects. This was the hardest one because there's an awesome amount of effects in both movies, practical effects and CGI. But even now I'm still thinking which way I should go, but I'm going to have to give it to the Army of Darkness because of just the amount of different things that they pulled off. I mean, the effects in From Dusk Till Dawn are great, but it was kind of like one kind of thing, you know. But in Army of Darkness, they got a whole bunch of things going on, so pulling off a lot more, in my opinion. So effects has to go to Army of Darkness. So that means it's all tied up. And that leads us to our last and final score, which is a real fight scenario. And obviously it's a Seth Gecko versus Ash. And what an epic battle that would be. Wouldn't that be great to see two dudes scrapping like that? I mean, Ash is like one of those dudes, like the Road Warrior, super tough and can survive. But I think Seth Gecko is just a little tougher, even though, like, I mean, you see him kick some ass, and he kicks some demon ass too. So he's just a real mean motor scooter. So I'm going to go with Seth Gecko and George Clooney for a real fight scenario, and that makes From Dusk Till Dawn our winner. So that's it, Tapeoids. Thank you for stopping by. That was an awesome matchup. Leave in the comments what you thought about my scoring, how you would score it. Come back next time for Versus. Please, if you like this video, hit the like and subscribe. Share the shit out of it. And I will catch you next time at Versus, Tapeoids. Take it easy.